Hi Sagittarius, this is your horoscope for September 2023. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to give you a rundown of what the planets are doing and how they're going to impact you specifically as a Sagittarius. And these videos are for Sun sign Sagittarius first and foremost, then rising sign Sagittarius, and then moon sign Sagittarius. Okay, so the first thing that happens here in September is that Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, that goes direct on the 3rd of September. And it sits in your 9th house of travel and education and expansion and growth. It's in Leo at 12 degrees. Okay, so Venus, think of it as the Empress, this woman who is interested in exploration and connection and kind of giving things new life and transforming them into something glorious. In Leo is very, very confident and it's outgoing, and it's looking for really thrilling experiences that make her feel like in awe and like there are endless possibilities. And I've discovered this new area of study and I'm fascinated by it and I want to see where it leads me. It's that kind of what is it called, idealism and optimism for this wonderful future that can happen. And with it sitting in your 9th house of potentially what could exist, it gives you an unbelievable sense of optimism, confidence, a kind of motivation for the future that says it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, anything is possible, and I can create wonderful things that I love and enjoy and that I genuinely connect with. So that then sits in your 9th house, let me just check, for the rest of the month. So you're going to be very teachable, you're going to be very interested in learning new things, in finding kind of new skills that allow you to express yourself in a beautiful kind of expert way. So anything creative, if you've thought of taking a class in, I don't know, art or pottery or a writing class or anything that kind of allows you to express yourself, you'll find that kind of thing very interesting at the beginning of the month. And it's more so than just being willing to learn. It's really that sense of the world is interesting again and I want to go explore it. And I want to shorten the distance between myself and the rest of the world. On the 4th of September until the 30th of December, Jupiter, the lucky planet, that goes retrograde. So it appears to go backwards. Jupiter being the planet of good luck and good fortune, the good luck rather than coming from the outside world in, now stems from within you and is prompting you to take action to kind of make an impact on the real physical world. Jupiter is at 15 degrees in Taurus, so it's kind of like a window opens and it says, hey, if you have an idea, something that's interesting to you, you'll be able to open the door and walk over the threshold into this new thing that you're interested in. So the planets are saying that you're not stuck, you're free to choose, your schedule is flexible. If you possibly can kind of put things in place so that you have the freedom to kind of explore the things that you're interested in, that may even seem a bit frivolous or that certainly don't increase your bank balance. It's important to allow yourself to kind of play and to explore a bit because it gives you new ideas and motivation for what you can do in future and what areas you will pursue. So think of this Jupiter retrograde until the end of the year as something which kind of provides you inner visions for adventures that you can have in the real world, and it's prompting you to kind of pay attention to those and to take action on them because these are very personal journeys which will make you feel engaged with your process, with your journey through life, and on a much simpler level will make it seem fun and enjoyable and like the world is full of wonder and endless possibility. Okay, so you Sagittarius, you guys are ruled by Jupiter in general. I mean, that's your ruler always. So you guys can be excessive, you can be visionaries, you can be adventurers and incredibly lucky and outgoing and all these things. But this month of September really highlights those aspects of your character and says anything is possible, and please go out into the world regardless of whether you've experienced disappointments in the past and try again because it is wondrous and amazing. Then going through until the 14th of December, we've got a lot of activity happening in your 10th house of career. We've got the Sun and the part of fortune and Mercury, and you're transiting midheaven, all in Virgo in your 10th house. So until the 14th, I think you look into your working life and see where you can create more spaces of freedom for yourself so that it's not as constrictive. So if you're trying to schedule or plan your routine or balance it out, if you're working 60 hours a week and you want to find a way to get it down to 40, or if you're working full-time and you want to work part-time, the beginning to the middle of the month is really a good time to look into that and to make any practical changes that you want to make. On the 14th itself, then, we have a new moon in Virgo. And the new moon is when the moon goes pitch black and it pulls lots of energy in to recharge itself, right? And it's pulling Virgo energy in. And Virgo is all about making sense of the information that you're working with. It happens in your 10th house of career. The transiting midheaven, which represents your work, is in between the sun and the moon. So in between this new moon, it's an active part of it. So it's really, what's my working life all about? How do I make sense of it? And how do I change it if I don't like it? So on one hand, you're super adventurous and interested in taking time off and doing something that's exciting and just kind of leisure time for motivation. It's almost like that motivation then spills over into your existing work and you look at it in the sense of, is this suitable for me? Or should I make changes? What's good about it? What's bad? The next day, Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet that rules Virgo, goes direct. So it's no longer in retrograde. So your perspective on things returns to normal. You don't need to be so focused on reading all the fine print or making sure all the information is correct, because it likely will be. And that goes direct also in your 10th house of work. So if you've been unclear about your working life, you're not going to have any problems kind of knowing where you stand with it and whether it needs to change or not. That can be kind of uncomfortable. You know, if you've been doing a job for 2-3 years and you're like, okay, this is fine. And then suddenly you become aware that this is no longer working for you or that you've outgrown it. That can create some conflict because it puts the responsibility on you to make some changes. So it's more work. It's more kind of a sense of obligation. I need to adapt and change. But that's why, you know, the beginning of the month and allowing yourself to have fun and to be carefree is so important, because like the new moon recharges its batteries, having fun and being kind of in touch with your inner child, that's what recharges you and then allows you to shoulder the burden of, I'm no longer happy, I need to make some changes. On the 19th, we have the sun forming an opposition, so it's 180 degrees away from Neptune, the water planet of dreams and intuition. So the sun in Virgo is your conscious mind trying to make meaning and sense of all the info that it's got, that it's in connection with, that it has to work with, right? And Neptune is what's happening in your inner world. It's your intuition. In Pisces, that's massively heightened, and it's in your 4th house of relationships. So it's kind of like balance between the outer world, your public persona, and your home life, the domestic kind of sphere of your life. And again, it's similar to making a decision about, do I want to work 40 hours a week or 60? This is, how much time do I want to spend working and how much time do I want to spend working on myself or enjoying my relationships or feeling a sense of home. It's kind of that thing of, well, what is it? I work to live, not I live to work. It's kind of making sense of the ever kind of shifting balance between those two kind of things. And here on the 19th of September, you can really have amazing insights which will help you balance that in future. So if you get any ideas around making changes to your actual schedule, then have faith and trust in those ideas because they're likely to work out for you. On the 23rd of September, we have the September equinox, the autumn equinox in the beginning of autumn, and we've got perfect balance between light and dark. So it's kind of like the Temperance card in the tarot, where you're in a very balanced state, and that's why you can see into either area so well and you're able to make decisions. And because your sun is in your 10th house in Libra, also balance. Now at the 23rd of September, it goes into Libra. And the midheaven is still in Virgo on the other side of the midheaven. It's really about so it's not so much about changing your job. It's about how can I find more balance in my life. And if you think about every aspect of your life that you engage with as a little box, then your relationship box, your working box, your exercise box, your family, all these things that you're interested in, you're able to shuffle those around and create real balance between them. The moon is in Capricorn at this point in September, And that for you, Sagittarius, is in your second house. And Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, is also in Capricorn in your second house of your money and your career and your physical belongings. So that prompts you to change. So at the beginning of the month, it seems really fun, right? You're like going surfing and you're at the beach playing around. But now, here in the third week of September, I'm trying to get balanced in terms of my schedule. And the moon and Pluto in my second are urging me to make changes to my job so that it really suits me. So the kind of dubious luxury of being in a career that you don't particularly want to be in, that kind of bubble bursts and you get prompted to make changes that put you in a position where you're showing up authentically, which again isn't always easy. Finally, at the end of the month, on the 29th of September, we have a supermoon. So the moon is closer to the earth than usual, and you'll feel the influence of the moon very strongly. And this supermoon, this full moon in Aries, happens again in your fourth house of your roots and your family and where you feel you belong. And at 6 degrees in Aries, it's kind of like, how do I create opportunities to belong to something? So whether it's the ideal job or a friendship circle where I feel loved and supported, or relationships that make me feel the same thing. So at the end of the month, it's no longer about perfecting your working circumstances. It's about what can I create in my home life. So you're certainly very busy. There is the potential to really expand in all those areas, in learning, then career, then family. When they do long jump, they run up to it, right? They run up and then there's a line where they take off and then they jump into the box of sand or whatever it is. That's what the beginning of the month is. Build up your energy and kind of charge yourself up by doing things that are enjoyable, and then kind of use all of that energy to take care of the balancing act in your working life and then later on in your home life. That sense of I want to create. Yeah, so you're not going to be bored here. Pace yourself and allow yourself as much time off to just play and to be yourself as you can. That's really what's going to help you manage any stress or a feeling of this is too much. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with in September. I hope you have a fabulous month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, numerology, and my intuition. If you have any questions around your life purpose, your career, your finances, your family life, communication, relationships, anything at all really, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then order a chart rectification with me, please. That's a process where you send me 10 or more life events and I work out your time of birth manually, which is important because the chart changes every 4 minutes. So if you're interested in any of that, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. Have a wonderful month and I'll speak to you soon.